Yes, children. Further, let me discuss one or two more, because we have already seen all these things. This is all revision only, right? Supposing we want to write for NO2 minus. Now, valence electrons, how many are there? Let us see. On nitrogen it is 5, on oxygen it is 6. So 5 plus 6 is 11, and there is one negative charge here. So here 5 plus 2 into 6, because there are 2 oxygen atoms. So 2 into 6 plus 1. 1 because there is one negative charge on this. Okay. So the total number of electrons will become 18. Okay. Now these 18 electrons, how are we going to show? What is the condition? Each atom should get octet configuration. Now if I put one bond between the, first you have to identify the central atom. Central atom is the least electronegative one among the ones. Okay. So that is nitrogen. So nitrogen, you put it at the center, oxygen on either side. Then first of all you just show it by a single bond and see how it is fitting. Okay. Now when you are not able to get the octet configuration, then you have to shift in such a way that all of them get 8 electronic configuration. So in this you are not getting, the central atom is getting only 6. So what you do, one of the pair of electron you shift it towards nitrogen. Okay, either from here or from here. So I have shifted it from here. So when you shift it from here, then it becomes a double bond, right? And now you will get all of them getting 8 electronic configuration. Again, remember, there is no need to express charge on any atom in the Lewis structure. I have just shown, just to explain that 2, 4, 6, 7. It is supposed to have 6, but it is having 7. Doesn't matter. Our aim is to have octet configuration around each atom. That is the main aim in Lewis structure. Okay, so now that is how you write for NO2 minus. And if it is NO3 minus, then again I have tried. It is 5 plus 18, 6 into 3, 18 plus 1 electron, that is negative charge. So it comes up to 24. So if I put it this way, by putting just one bond with the combining atoms, then I am not getting this octet configuration satisfied. So what I have to do is, I have to interchange a little bit. So what I have done, I have just shifted one pair of electron from oxygen towards nitrogen, and there is a double bond here. Okay. With the result, what happened? Each and every atom is getting 8 electronic configuration. Right? Same way for carbonate also. I tried like this, but it is not giving octet configuration. Here this is having 8, this is having 8, this is also having 8, but this is having only 6. 2, 4, 6. Is it not? So this is not correct. This is having only 6, whereas these 3 are having 8 electrons each. But then this is having 8 around each atom. So this is the right one. Same way for sulfur trioxide. Now if I put it this way, then I am not getting octet configuration, and I shift a pair of electron towards sulfur, then I am able to get octet around each. Same way, cyanide. Okay, 4 plus 5 plus 1. So 10 electron. So how do you express this? If you put a double bond, it is not satisfied because 2, 4, 6, 8. Nitrogen satisfy हो गया, but carbon की surrounding में 2, 4, 6. Only 6 are there. 8 is not there, right? So this is wrong. So this will have 8 electrons around each, and it is maintaining the 10 electrons also. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Right? Okay. So this is your Lewis structure. Now, in the case of NO, it is an odd electron molecule. Total number of electrons you see 5 plus 6, that is 11. Okay. So 11 means 5 pairs and one single electron will be left. Now how do you do that? Now if I put it this way, then 2, 4, 6, 8, oxygen is satisfied. 2, 4, 6, 7. There is definitely nitrogen cannot get octet configuration because there is short of electron here, right? But you cannot allow 7 electrons with oxygen because oxygen is more electronegative. It is bound to have its own quota. Okay, so nitrogen is having less. So such molecules do exist in spite of the fact that the octet configuration is not satisfied. Even then they are existing. So this comes out in the form of limitation for octet rule. Okay. Now let's come to calculate formal charge. Formal charge on each atom of a particular species. What is the formula? Total number of valence electrons in the free atom minus total number of electrons as lone pairs minus half into total number of shared electrons. Right? So in short, you can write formal charge is equal to V minus lone pairs L minus half into shared pairs, that is S. So now, say for example, you want to show for this sulfur dioxide. Supposing you want to show on this atom, say this, I am numbering it as 1, this as 2 and this as 3. Right? So on this oxygen, if you want to find out the formal charge on oxygen 1, say, what is this equal to? This is equal to valence electrons on the free atom is 6. Then minus total number of electrons as lone pairs. Lone pairs, they are 2 plus 2, 4. So 4 minus half into total number of shared pairs. Shared pairs are also 4. So half into 4. This will give you 6 minus 4. So this will give you minus 2. So 6 minus 6 equal to 0. So there is no charge on this oxygen. Okay. If you find out on this, then this will be, say, oxygen 3. This will be 6 minus 2, 4, 6. Lone pairs, they are total 6 in number. Minus half into 2. Shared pair is only 2 electrons. So into 2. So this will give you 1. So 6 minus 7. Minus 6 minus 1 is 7. So that will give rise to minus 1. Right? So the formal charge on this oxygen is minus 1 and on this is 0 and on sulfur accordingly you can find out. Right? So this is how you find out the formal charge. So I have given you another example with carbon monoxide. How to find out the formal charge on carbon, how to find out that on oxygen. Right? So these things we have already seen. Same way for ozone also you can calculate the formal charge on each and every oxygen atom. Okay? Right. Now let's come to limitations of octet rule. What are the limitations? Hydrogen needs 1 electron to complete its shell. Isn't it? K shell can accommodate only 2 electrons. It cannot accommodate more than 2. But you are talking about octet around each atom, right? Hydrogen cannot afford to have 8 because its maximum capacity is to hold 2. Okay? Same way in the case of helium also, that is also having only duplet configuration. So this is a limitation. Compounds like BeCl2, BF3, AlCl3, they have sextet of electrons. Sextet means 6 electrons, right? Around the central atom. Beryllium has 4. So octet rule is violated. They are not having octet configuration. 8 electronic configuration is not there. So such compounds are called as electron deficient compounds. Then third limitation is compounds like PCl5, SF6, IF7, they have their central atom having more than 8 electrons. So they have an expanded octet. So they are considered as electron rich compounds, right? Compounds like NO, NO2, O2 minus, they all have odd number of electrons. So they are called as odd electron molecules. Again, they are not in accordance with octet electronic configuration. Noble gases are said to be inert, but supposing if they are having octet configuration, then they are not supposed to react. But some of them have been found to form compounds, like in the case of xenon or krypton, they are forming compounds with fluorine. Okay, so that is again violating octet rule. Now, what are the other limitations? It could not explain the formation of covalent bond. it could not explain the shapes of molecules. Nothing regarding shapes have been explained by this octet theory. And it could also not explain why bond formation is associated with release of energy. Bond formation is exothermic, bond breakage is endothermic, we have already done, isn't it? So why energy release or absorption, why does it take place during bond formation or bond breakage? It is not able to explain. Then say a single bond is formed, then why same amount of energy is not released? Why different energies are released? That is also not given. Then why in some molecules there are less number of electrons, in some there are more number of electrons, or more than 8, isn't it? Around the central atom, you call it as electron rich molecules. Why do they exist? No, nobody knows. Same way, O2 is paramagnetic. See, O is having 8 electrons. So total number of electrons is 16. So if you consider 16, then you take it as 8 pairs, isn't it? 16 means 8 pairs. Then where is the unpaired electron? Okay. According to this, there are no unpaired electrons. But there is unpaired electron and it is showing paramagnetic behavior. Oxygen is showing paramagnetic behavior. Paramagnetic behavior is due to the presence of unpaired electrons. Then it is not able to show. So these are all the limitations. Right? Okay. Now come to what are the factors affecting ionic bond formation. This is a very important topic. Just like octet theory. Low ionization enthalpy and more negative electron gain enthalpy. Delta Heg should be more negative. And ionization enthalpy, that is delta Hi should be low. And delta Heg should be more negative. And higher lattice enthalpy. Now, if these three conditions are appropriate, then only ionic bond formation is perfect. So, the energy released when the requisite number of positive and negative ions in gaseous state combine to form 1 mole of ionic compound is called lattice enthalpy. That is lattice formation enthalpy. Now, this is based on 2 factors. What are the 2 factors? Charge on the ions and size of the ions. If the charge is higher, then greater is the force of interaction. Okay? And if the force of interaction is higher, then more and more amount of energy is released during the formation. Because I told you, low energy state is the more stable state. Okay? So if at all a particular substance has to reach stable state, then it should be associated with lower energy. Then size of the ions. Smaller the size of ion, lesser the internuclear distance, greater the force of attraction. The internuclear distance is less, then the force of attraction will be greater. So based on that, you can give some examples. The lattice energy of NaCl is greater than that of NaBr. Why? Because Br minus is having bigger size than Cl minus. Smaller the size, lesser the internuclear distance, greater the force of attraction. So this is the meaning. Same way, LiF is having greater lattice energy than Li. Now this is the reason LiF, in spite of being an alkali metal halide, you know, lithium, sodium, they are all alkali metals, and it is an alkali metal halide. In spite of the fact it is an alkali metal halide, thoroughly ionic, still it is insoluble in water. Right?